Yeah, you the.
On today's episode of Park Radio, we'll be talking with the best-selling author of 6 critically acclaimed novels, a jack of all trades and a master at mastering. Ladies and gentlemen, I present.
My name is Michael Afenfia, author of The Mechanics of Yenagoa and several other novels. And this is Park Radio on YouTube.
106.park. Park Radio 106.park. Don't touch that dial. Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, like, you're really good with several things, like we spoke about earlier. From law to banking to everything. So, why do you think you're still a writer? Why didn't you just stop with any of these professions and why do you keep writing?
I think of all the things I've done over the years, writing is my one true love, from a very young age, I felt that tug, and so I kind of pursued it over the years. Of course, I could have continued in working as a banker, a lawyer, real estate, working with politicians, and everything else I've done.
Yeah.
But somehow, I just don't find that much passion as I do with writing. And like I said to people on my dying bed, if I have any regrets, it would be if I didn't use my talent as a writer.
Oh, that's interesting. So also you have written a lot of books. This is your 6th book, Leave My Bones, Saskatchewan. Which one you say is a book you're most proud of? I'm not saying your favorites, but a book you're most proud of. You're like, like that child that, you're proud of all your children, but that child is always winning inter-house sports, this kind of thing. So which child do you say you're most proud of?
Yeah, that's a very tricky question. Maybe I would say Mechanics of Yenagoa at this point, only because many years after it was published, released, I still have new fans of the book, people just discovering it for the first time and being really, really excited for it. I think it was the one book I wrote where it wasn't really intended to be published as a book. I was just something I was doing for fun. And to think that at the end they got the kind of reception that it did, it's really, something that I'm proud of. I'm happy that happened too. Okay.
So you said how Mechanics of Yenagoa was not meant to be published as a book. I know you started as a Facebook article.
Yeah,
can you tell us more about
post.
that?
Well, I just moved to Yenagoa, about that time, started a new job around media for the government, and so while conversations were going on about how do we promote Bielsa, I kind of felt like if you're a part of the government and you were promoting the government, then it felt like propaganda. So what could I do that would place me Yenagoa on the map without looking like it was contrived? And so that organic storytelling format about ordinary people in Yenagoa kind of clicked, and I ran with it.
Yeah, I think it really puts Yenagoa on the map because there are a lot of people that there are a lot of people that meet Yenagoa from the first time via that book. So also that is also very interesting, talking about how it started from a blog post, very untraditional for how books start. So what would you say the craziest thing you have done on your creative journey thus far?
Oh, wow.
Craziest thing you have done?
Another good question. I would have said writing multiple books at the same time recently. But maybe while even doing Mechanics of Yenagoa, because then we were posting online every week and then later every other week. And so sometimes I'd just get a call from Damola, who I was working with at the time, and he would just say, Michael, it's Thursday, and we usually published on Sundays. It's Thursday, and I've not seen anything yet. And so I know I have Thursday, 2 days to write an episode, and then send it for editing before it's then released on Sunday. So just, that breakneck pace. And I remember once, and I've also shared this story before, I traveled for work, and I had an episode to release, and I was in the printing press all night waiting for something I was producing for work, and I got the call reminding me of the deadline, and so all night on my feet, literally on my feet, I had to write an episode. So I think, yeah.
And you writing on your phone or you?
Yeah, my laptop. I just brought out the laptop, and while the printing and everything was going on, I just stood and
just doing it in the background.
Wrote the whole episode of Mechanics of Yenagoa, which would be like a whole chapter now, right?
That's interesting. So that is, you're also talking about like consistency and how you had to do that like breakneck, speed, because you had to do it, like you had to publish every Sunday, so you had to make sure you had something ready for Sunday. So what sort of advice do you have for like the next generation of writers or like upcoming writers? What would you like to say to them? Or to yourself, like to your younger self, what would you like to say, having this hindsight now, what would you like to say to them?
Don't be scared. I think the younger me was afraid, like, you know what, like, if I pursued this passion, where would it take me, and would it be sustainable for me in terms of income and all that? So I was scared and decided to do other things for stability. But looking back, maybe I shouldn't have been so afraid. Maybe I should have just taken the plunge earlier on in life. Who knows? Maybe I'd have
Being bigger.
21 books, all be bigger.
That's crazy. So you also talk about when we were talking earlier, talk about your interesting relationship with Chimeka Garrix, about how you guys went to school together. So I'm wondering, like, how was that like?
Oh yeah,
were you guys already writing in school? Were you guys comparing
No, I
notes
never
then?
knew he was a writer.
Okay.
I'm sure he also didn't know that.
Okay.
So I was a senior in the university, and then years later, after we all had graduated, I'd written my first book, When the Moon Caught Fire, and I guess he saw it, and then so he contacted me and said to me that he had a manuscript. Do I want him to? Did I have time to look at it?
Yeah.
And that's Tomorrow Died Yesterday.
Oh, brother, that
so
was
I
an
read it
amazing
before
book.
it was
Yeah.
published, and so yeah.
Yeah, okay, so sorry, also to backtrack to something you said earlier, when you talk about Mechanics of Yenagoa finding new fans every day. How is that like for you? Like this newfound fame, sort of like that people can now see you and spot your face. I don't know, how has that felt like this?
It's very surreal. Like,
Yeah.
I was saying, to a friend the other day that, we're just rounding off the Nigerian leg of a 5-city book tour before we proceed to the UK.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And I was saying to a friend how, like, in every single book tour, there was at least that one person that felt like, whoa, this is idolation or something. Like, and I'm like, okay, is this for me? Like,
Is it me or Michael Jackson?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
when did this start?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, big. Like I've like personally, I'm a fan, but I have a friend that's even an even much bigger fan. It would be she was not sort of put me on to Rain Can Never Know. That was even before I knew Mechanics of Yenagoa. And she was going on about how interesting the story was, about how the story is not really straight, and Chief Roland and this one, like, and I feel like they also follow that similar pattern of like this character going through several obstacles, sort of like your books are very character rich. So who you say is your like favorite character amongst all your characters you've written about?
Okay. I like Owoicho. Owoicho is from Leave My Bones in Saskatoon.
Okay.
Bubaraye from Don't Die on Wednesday.
Okay.
I like that character. Of course, Ebinimi from Mechanics of Yenagoa.
Okay.
I like that character as well.
Okay. Now to round up, what I want you to do sort of like speak into the future, like 10 years from now, when you come back and watch this video, like what would you like to have happened to yourself, like to you? I don't know if you get the question. I know it's a bit
I do.
So
I want to see at least one movie or series adaptation of at least one of my books.
Okay.
10 years coming back, I want to be able to say, hey, we did it, right?
Okay.
So that, and just see an increase in the number of people who would meet me in the airport or random places and say, hey, I'm an author too today because I saw this video, and I was inspired to
pursue my dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. So, take the risk, go out there, just sort of stay in school, all of that. 106 Park. Park Radio 106 Park. Don't touch that.